What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Here with the Twilight Gnome podcast. It's a special episode, guys. Every 25 we will be doing one of these, and this special episode we will be doing a top 10 list. What is the list?
So this top 10 list is going to be top 10 creature and character designs of the Twilight Zone.
To serve man, it's a cookbook.
So in order to make this list, let me just put down some ground rules. What we did was Alex made his top 10, I made my top 10, and we kind of did a mash of the two of them, figured out collectively which ones would make the top 10, and that's how our list was generated.
So coming in at number 10, we have the two-headed alien from Mr. Dingle the Strong.
How are you, fellas? Nice seeing you. Where are you from?
Venus, how about you?
Mars. Conducting experiments?
Yeah, and you?
Sudden introduction of strength to subnormal Earthman.
Yeah, now this Martian looks pretty cool. It's both a lot of different makeup as well as a lot of physical pieces kind of added to the character itself.
The Martian was played by Douglas Spencer and Michael Fox, with art direction by George W. Davis and Phil Barber. Cool design.
It is a pretty cool design. It's interesting how they move, too, where they're two people stuck together. They kind of like are dollied forward.
Now, coming in at number 9, we have Haley, the Venusian from Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? What are your thoughts on this one?
One of my favorite episodes in terms of character design. It's very simplistic, and I don't really think it holds up all that well. But what I do really enjoy about this is how well the one piece that makes it special, obviously the third eye in the center, is kind of able to be easily hidden by his iconic hat.
I have to do a little waiting myself. You see, Mr. Ross, my name isn't Haley. And I do agree with you, this is an extraordinary place to colonize. We folks on Venus had the same idea. We got it several years ago.
The Venusian was played by Barney Phillips. The makeup was done by William Tuttle, and originally it was supposed to have 4 eyes, but Tuttle could not fit the 4th one under, and it was supposed to be rigged with hidden wires to control the eye off camera, but we never got it.
And I think that probably would have added a little bit more to it. Kind of how it is right now, it just looks like someone kind of stuck an eyeball right in the forehead, and they said, well, that's good enough. But it would have been even cooler and probably higher up on the list had they actually been able to do those things that you said it was originally planned to do.
True. And coming in at number 8, we have the gremlin on the wing from Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
There's a man out there.
What?
Look, he's crawling on...
So this is probably one of the most iconic looks ever, but it just seems very hokey. I feel like we couldn't really put it any higher than this spot, but it is certainly iconic. The very furry suit is very Sasquatch-esque. So kind of interesting look there. What do you think?
It's pretty neat. It's definitely an odd choice for something scary to be so cute looking, but it somehow works.
Yeah, and they kind of make the face look a little menacing with like the pug nose, and then the fact that like you obviously like the curtain gets drawn and then you don't see it and you're expecting it to be further away, and now it's all close up. But interesting look overall.
The gremlin was played by Nick Cravat, makeup by William Tuttle. Cravat was actually casted for his experience in Acrobats because they had him on some wires during the shots.
That makes sense. Yeah, there's definitely some scenes where like he jumps away and you can kind of tell he must be on some sort of like suspension wire.
Now coming in at number 7, we have The Masks. Couldn't really pick one per se from this. I'm gonna say probably Jason Foster, the old man with the skull. Is a pretty cool design. Very simple, but I would agree as well. Probably the old man where his mask is death is probably the standout of the 5 masks.
Now you can dig deep in the treasury.
Are you feeling weaker, Father?
At last, a note of hope in your voice, Emily.
Jason Foster was played by Robert Keith, art direction by George W. Davis and Walter Holscher. All 5 masks took about 2 weeks to make, and the actors actually got to keep them when they left. Coming in at number 6, we got the robots from Steel. Very simple, but creepy as hell looking.
Super creepy, and it definitely meets that uncanny valley with like the black dead eyes, and it sort of, they had to make it look like a mask, but at the same time look realistic but also fake. They make it work perfectly. It perfectly balances that line between realistic and not realistic, where they're going for like a robot.
I'm gonna get paid off. We'll get him all the autographs he needs.
We can find any.
Well, why shouldn't we?
Because they don't make it anymore, that's why.
That's crazy. There's still plenty of B2s around.
Name 5.
The robot was played by Trip McClure and makeup again by William Tuttle. And another cool, interesting fact about this, they actually used ping pong balls. They cut them in half and used those over the eyes to make the eyes look that much creepier.
Wow, that is pretty cool. I would not have guessed that from looking.
Coming in at number 5, we have the Kanamits from To Serve Man.
There is nothing ulterior in our motives. Nothing at all. You will discover this for yourselves before too long, simply by testing the various devices which we will make available to you.
Incredibly iconic. You probably couldn't make a list of creatures from the Twilight Zone without having the Kanamits on there.
Exactly, and really well done again. The giant heads with the sunken in eyes, and then I like how they, obviously the actor that plays it is already a very tall man, but they have like the elevated boots to just really accentuate his height and just show that this creature's kind of out of this world.
The Kanamits were played by Richard Keel, yet they were voiced by Lord Buchner, who did the narration, who actually did a couple episodes of The Twilight Zone, Man in the Bottle, and I believe there was one more.
Nice.
Makeup again by William Tuttle. We'll get more into him at the end. He was pretty much their main man for The Twilight Zone.
I was going to say, it sounded like this William Tuttle really had a big influence on a lot of the look of The Twilight Zone.
Coming in at number 4, we have the species from Eye of the Beholder.
All right, Miss Tyler, I'm going to remove the last of the bandages now. Would you like a mirror?
No. No, thank you. No mirror.
All right, then. I want you to remember this, please. Now, we have done all we could do. If we've been successful, well and good, there are no problems.
A lot of people call these guys like the pig nose people. Really cool. Again, very heavy on facial prosthetics, much like the mask, where you have both the upturned nose, which is probably the most iconic part, but you also have like the weird lips, and then the strange features around both the under the eyes as well as like the very thick brow. Really cool look, and went great with the whole plot of the story about like looks.
Right. The Doctor was played by William D. Gordon and makeup again by William Tuttle. And Tuttle actually reused pieces first created for the movie The Time Machine. And makeup artist Rick Baker also was inspired by this design at the age of 15. And we all know that he went on to a lot of Hollywood horror makeup and all that.
I say that's amazing. Yeah, Rick Baker's one of the top 10 character designers out there. Really cool that he got inspired from this particular episode of The Twilight Zone.
Coming in at number 3, we have Robby the Robot. Originally, he was obviously created for Forbidden Planet, and he was actually known as the hardest working robot in show business.
Yeah, because he's also in a number of the episodes of The Twilight Zone, Alex, right? He's in 2?
He's in 3 Twilight Zones, if you count being in one for the Angels, little cameo.
Yep.
And how many men does it replace?
Oh, well, this should please you. Only one. Just one. As a matter of fact, Hanley, it replaces you.
And for how expensive it was to build him originally for Forbidden Planet, they definitely wanted to get their money's worth from him. But really cool character design. It's super iconic, very 60s.
They made him for like $150,000 back in '55, and that would be the equivalent of over $1 million today to build Robby.
Wow, that's insane.
Coming in at number 2, we have the alien from The Fugitive, an episode I don't think a lot of people really care for, but that alien design, even though it kind of looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon, obviously both of us thought it was pretty awesome to end up in this spot.
I really love it. It's so unique, and there's a lot of detail in the face. You got the interesting eye design, the ears, and the whole body has this like rock-like formation, very reminiscent of like The Thing.
Yes.
And it kind of goes with its shape-shifting abilities. So really cool standout design there.
How come those men are after you? Are you a criminal?
In a way, yes.
What'd you do? Rob a bank?
No.
Kill somebody?
No.
Then you must be a communist.
No, little monkey, I'm not a communist.
Not much is known for who was in the suit. I looked everywhere in the books and on IMDb, could not find who was actually the man in the suit, or if Tuttle had anything to do with this. The only thing I know is that the art directors at the time were George W. Davis and Phil Barber.
Wow.
Keeping this one a mystery.
And I would say out of all the aliens that we see in the Twilight Zone, this is probably the most intricate and alien of them all. Definitely looks nowhere near human. Very cool design. They went above and beyond for this one.
And coming in with our number one pick for the best character/creature design, we have the alien from Hocus Pocus and Frisbee.
Well, one thing I'll say about you, you sure are built hard.
Oh, we are indeed, by your standards, which is quite fortunate for us.
Say, do you mind if I relax a little? That horrible sound.
Again, a beautiful design. Very interesting what they did with the shape of the mouth there on these ones. Very unique. And I also love the scene where their human masks fall off in an almost...
It's like ceramic breaking. It's awesome.
Exactly. Really cool shot there with it breaking.
The alien was played by Milton Selzer, and makeup again by William Tuttle. We'll get a little bit into William Tuttle here. So he was born in 1912 and died in 2007. He actually began working in 1934 for MGM, and he actually worked on The Wizard of Oz, Singin' in the Rain, Forbidden Planet, The Time Machine, Logan's Run, Young Frankenstein, and you can still buy his cosmetic products today. A lot of people use them.
Oh, wow. So he had like his own chain
line.
of... Nice.
But he was about like kind of like the grandfather of makeup in Hollywood, like that.
So out of the ones on our top 10 list, do you just want to do a quick count exactly how many were done by Tuttle?
So 6 out of the 10 creatures that we picked were actually done by Tuttle.
That's pretty impressive. That's a really strong resume right there on the Twilight Zone. So,
like we said earlier, this is a special episode. We're going to be doing these every 25. This time we just started off putting our toes in the water with a top 10 list. We have some big plans for the future of what we're going to be giving you guys as specials. I know we have at least like 2 or 3 that we know for sure that we're going to do. Again, guys, we really appreciate the support. If you could please like and subscribe on the YouTube page, if you could like and follow the Facebook page, and if you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com.
And we'd love to get some comments. What did you think about this special episode? Do you like the different kind of format to it? Also, drop us some new ideas for the other 5 that we're going to be doing for special episodes. If you have an idea that's really good, it could make it into the show too. So definitely hit us up. Let us know what you think.
Awesome. Keep listening to the Gnome, everybody. Peace.
It's